Seconds out.
Chris, you're stepping up to super middleweight to fight Quinlan for the IBO title, your first world title shot. How excited are you to basically showcase your skills on the world stage?
This is what I've been working for. This is everything that, all the hard work, everything has come down to this stage for me to achieve my first world title. So I'm very excited. I'm very happy. I'm in a good place. Training has gone perfectly, and Reynolds in some deep water.
He obviously, the fact that this is the first time he's fought outside of Australia and he's travelling abroad for the first defence of his title. He KO'd Gil to win the title. Is there an element of respect, just the fact that he's willing to travel so far for his first defence against opposition as yourself?
I respect all fighters. Any fighter who's willing to put his title on the line, especially against someone like me, deserves respect. And he didn't have to come over here. There was other options he could have taken. He believes in himself. He says he's going to come over here and knock me out and take my fans. So
he's got confidence, at least.
Well, that's what he said in an article. In the interviews, he was a little bit more. I think now that he's seen me in front of him, maybe he's a little bit more conservative. But respect where respect is due. He knocked out a former two-time world champion in Daniel Gil. So he's paid his dues. But this is my time now. This is my time.
Obviously, you have plenty of fans, and there's obviously plenty of haters, and people want to talk about the integrity of the IBO title, which personally I think is a bit crazy. It's a world title at the end of the day. For you, do you look at this as, once you have that title round your waist, it opens up many doors for you?
That's exactly what it is. This is my ticket. Becoming an IBO world champion is it puts me in a place where I can then go and challenge all the other for all the other world titles. This is the beginning of my legacy now. Won the British Championship, win a world title, go and dominate the middleweight and the super middleweight divisions.
That's what I was going to say. You're not planning on just sticking in the super middleweight, because obviously there's some incredibly tasty fights at middleweight. Golovkin, Billy Joe Saunders. Those are still in your remit, I'm assuming.
Of course, they have to be. Those are the fights that I've been training and gunning for years. So they're not going to just disappear now that I'm fighting at super middleweight. But at the same time, there are great fights to be made at super middleweight. So I guess once I become IBO middleweight super middleweight world champion, I'll take whatever comes first. If that's a world title fight at middleweight, then I'll take that. If it's to challenge one of the super middleweight world champions, then I'm going to take that. Boxing, you can't plan. You can't plan in this sport. There's too many, unknowns. You kind of just have to ride the wave. So once I've got this title underneath my belt, then we can go and see what else we can do.
You say you can't plan, but your dad says that if you stick to the team's strategy, you will be a better fighter than him. Not that you're comparing yourself to him, because you're your own man, but you stick to. Is there an element of strategy to obviously everything that you do?
I mean, of course, you're not just winging it every in boxing. You've got to have goals. But as far as being better than my father, that's not for me to say.
He said it. To be fair, not you.
No, I know, but people always ask me, "Are do you think you're better than your dad, or who would win in a fight between you and your old man?" That doesn't interest me. I'm not comparing myself to my father. What I've got to do is be the best man I can be, the best fighter that I can be. The comparisons, all that stuff that's for the fans. That's for the people watching the sport. For me, who's living the life, I just need to work towards my career goals, and obviously February 4th is my biggest one yet.
It's a fascinating relationship you and your dad have, and it's quite a bizarre relationship for a father and son relationship to be so heavily in the limelight. When I interviewed your dad the other day, I said, do you find it hard sort of clicking in and out of, you're still a father at the end of the day, but he's hugely influential on your career as well. Do you find it sometimes hard? Can you still have just your father-son time, or is it massively consumed by the sport that you both are in?
When we're in the gym, it's boxing. When we're at press conferences and stuff like this, it is boxing. It's not father and son. But of course, we have our downtime. We spend time together outside of that, and it's a father-son relationship. We get on. We're very close. But obviously, the public don't see that. All they see is us around boxing. But no, me and my father, we're very close.
Because he says also, and I can totally understand it, again, it's come under criticism that he's trying to take your limelight and all this, and it should be your time, but then in a way, why would you have anyone else around you? Because not only is he your father, so he's got your best interests at heart, but given his expertise in the sport, would you say that's probably one of the biggest benefits for you, given what he knows and his expertise in boxing?
You can't buy the experience and the knowledge, the wisdom that my father has. So you're right. Why would I then not use that to my benefit? And yeah, who else am I going to keep around me? Am I going to have a promoter by my side at all times? Am I going to have security, or my father's the only one that I truly know is
trust
will be there for me, and who wants the best for me. You go back and you look at other all past world champions. Many of them, they had these huge entourages, and after a couple losses, where are they? Where are these guys? They're gone. Where are the promoters? They dropped them. My father's not going to drop me. I'm his son. So that's why I keep him around.
You're back. I say you. Team Eubank is back on ITV. It's obviously an incredibly exciting platform to be on. You're open to a much wider audience. How nice is it to sort of, your dad had unbelievable memories and made some of the best fights in boxing history on ITV. It's now the first time it's pay-per-view. How excited are you to be a part of ITV again?
It's a huge opportunity. Very exciting times for me and for British boxing, because at the end of the day, what's best for the sport is the most exposure possible, to get the most people involved, to get the most people seeing, hearing about and watching the fights that all of us train so hard and dedicate our lives to be able to do. And with ITV, this is a terrestrial TV channel. This is everyone who has a TV in their home has ITV, which cannot be said for other channels.
Not just boxing fans. It's all.
It's young kids. It's old ladies. It's people who know nothing about boxing, who are getting exposed to British boxing, and to me, and to my world title fight. So it's massive. And February 4th, the great undercard, some awesome fights going to be on there, and you're watching history. You're watching the next generation of the Eubanks start on his journey.
Listen, I can tell there's a lot of people around here desperate for your time, so thank you so much for talking to me. All the best for the 4th, and excited to see where this journey takes you.
Okay, appreciate the time.